Alrighty. Hello and good morning, Courtney. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good here. I'm noticing I'm freezing a little bit. So if I make any funny faces, please excuse me on my end.
No
Um,
problem.
but Courtney, we've had some great conversations here, and I would love for us to continue that. We were talking a little bit about the role, a little bit about your experience as well, but I would love for you to just jump into the interview and tell me a little bit more about your professional experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. So my name is Courtney. I started my career at Tech Data. I've worked in multiple industries, multiple roles. I was at most recently on-site safety, where I was field service manager, customer support manager, and did a lot of the day-to-day administrative functions for the company.
Beautiful. And thank you so much for your introduction, Courtney. I appreciate that. Now, I also have your resume pulled up here, and you mentioned a few roles that you worked in. You worked in senior management, customer care, supervisory positions, and most recently, your last role is on-site safety as customer support slash field service manager. So, I want to touch a little bit more on that latest position with on-site safety. I know that your last day, I believe, was it last week, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, my last day was last Friday.
Beautiful. And the reason for that is because now you're moving to Largo area.
Yes, we just recently relocated to the Largo Clearwater area to be closer to family.
Awesome. And that's super exciting. Now, Courtney, I would love if you may tell me a little bit more about really what your day-to-day looked like at on-site safety.
Absolutely, absolutely. So my day to day, I manage the field service department, which kind of consisted of scheduling, dispatch, order entry, and customer support. So very much customer interaction and face to face in person. We did a lot of phone conversations, text messages, emails. So did that day to day. Also, because OnSite was a smaller company, I did a lot of their administrative functions. So helped with purchasing, front office deliveries, etc.
That's incredible. And with you giving me a little bit more insight on that role, it sounds a bit similar to this position that we kind of spoke about, really just being of support to the office or even, being of support to the warehouse team. Maybe not doing their duties, right? But helping them with perhaps, inventory and all that fun stuff. So definitely more of a support position, which again sounds a lot like your on-site safety with that administrative support as well. Um, which is a great transition for you. I
Absolutely.
also want to see a little bit more. And now I have a little bit of some systems you've used. You have it listed here on your resume, but just for the video purposes, would you mind sharing a little bit of some systems that you have used it for?
Sure. Used quite a few over my career. I've used Google Suite and everything that's involved in Microsoft Office Suite. Very familiar with all of those. Some CRM systems I've used. I've used NetSuite, Salesforce, Siebel, which is an older one, and just a lot of in-house custom-made suites. So very easy for me to pick up on technology.
Beautiful. And I want to touch base a little bit on your Excel skills. How are your Excel skills?
I would say I have advanced Excel skills. I can do pivot tables, formulas, VLOOKUPs, all of those advanced type skills in Excel.
Amazing, which is definitely a bonus for this position. Now, they won't have you do anything crazy, and I say crazy as far as like formulas, pivot tables, because I can't do that myself, but just creating the general spreadsheet. So I love how you have that experience as well. Now, to wrap up the interview here, just two last questions for you. But as far as any scheduling restrictions or appointments or pre-scheduled vacations, do you have anything scheduled that we should know about at all?
Nothing scheduled in the near
No.
future. No.
Okay, no appointments or vacation time, anything like that. Okay, perfect, perfect. And then last question to wrap it up here, but start date. I know my client is looking to have someone start truly as early as next Monday, the 6th. Does that work for you?
Absolutely. I'm ready to start whenever they are ready for me to be there.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. Well, Courtney, I appreciate all the details that you gave me. It was a pleasure getting to know your experience a bit further. I want to wrap up the interview here, and I'll go ahead and stop recording momentarily. But if you don't mind, would you mind staying with me on the line really quickly? I want to chat with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Oh.